African communities have from time immemorial developed different belief systems, including taboos, rituals, and totems that ensure the effective management of natural resources in the continent. These belief systems ascribed much power to some natural resources like rocks, streams, ponds, trees, land, and animal species within the community.
We started conservation. It is not the Western civilization that has taught us conservation. Naturally, we are forest people. Naturally, we protect the forest. We have trees that we don't destroy anyhow.
In many African communities, some people saw animals as the totems of people or communities and were therefore protected, since killing them may lead to the death of an individual in the community or the person who did the killing.
Chimpanzees are animals that we use as totems. Normally, with a chimpanzee, one can transform into a chimpanzee.
Though the operational mechanism of this traditional natural resource management system has no scientific basis, it undoubtedly served as an indigenous conservation ethics and an effective means of conservation.
If you are in a village, you don't know that this is a shrine. I'm not supposed to enter there just anyhow. You'll be enter there and then the consequences will follow you. You see some young ladies go to marry, they cannot give birth to children. They don't know places where they have passed.
The increasing adoption of Western values and the suppression of indigenous knowledge has eroded the appetite for the long-standing historical and traditional conservation narratives that aided in species conservation before colonialism, especially among the younger generation.
The young people are killing all the animals. The young people are cutting all the trees.
In a bid to preserve these fast disappearing pro-conservation traditional tales and beliefs about the Nigerian Cameroon chimpanzee and other fauna and flora species, Voice of Nature VoNat, a Cameroon-based biodiversity conservation and sustainable development non-profit organization with the support of New England Biolabs Foundation, guided some kids and young adults around the Mount Cameroon National Park to locate and document some pro-conservation traditional knowledge. One of the villages visited was In this village, they met with the traditional ruler who took them under a tree at the center of the village, conserved because of its cultural and historical significance with the Bakwere people.
If you want to know where a village had been, in Bakwere they say begin to see where you find this tree. If you go into a forest and you see this tree, this womba, I don't know how they call it in English. It means that people had lived in that place.
As the youngsters, that just what turned out to be a new discovery about a tree they have been seeing every day, the traditional rulers switched to other trees considered sacred in the Bakwere land and conserved because of their mystical powers and medicinal properties.
The Iroko, we call it Momangi. Momangi means that a tree that is very firm on the ground. Where the mahogany, we call it bow in Bakwere. Then the Prunus africana, we call it wotango. Those trees, you cannot find a Bakwere man burning them.
The traditional authority also took the kids and young adults memory lane to tell them a story about the relationship between chimpanzees and the communities in Mount Cameroon area.
We regarded chimpanzees as a human being living in the forest. The elephant, we know that the totem issue, they are our friends.
The chief of Bonakanda zoomed into the story of Pa Joshua and the totemic elephant as the kids listened with great admiration.
Now he was hunting elephants and they were telling him that these elephants that you are hunting like this, they are totems. God was a time that he shot an elephant and he knew that he saw an elephant shot it. By the time he reached there, he did not see anything. Some of those issues, we don't need to go detail. I just have to give you those captions that actually we have those totems that we have to protect. So
the custodian of the Bakure custom and tradition equally noted some forest patches in his community that most villagers are restricted from entering. He particularly led the youngsters to the Obasanjum Sacred Forest and told them the stories behind its conservation.
These particular people who are already initiated into what is inside it, you can go there. Yes. So if you look at these trees, you don't cut them, nobody, even me, I cannot cut them. If you come and clear one tree here, it means that you have carried the whole village on your head.
This was undoubtedly the first time these kids and young adults were getting traditional stories and folktales about the conservation of certain forest patches and biodiversity species in their communities.
Actually, I've learned many things about the knowledge. Like the chief mentioned some beliefs on trees and the shrines.
So mostly in the local village, there's a forest. And I learned so many things. But it's not a specific person, or there's a type of people which are going to enter inside the forest.
Local and traditional beliefs remain a veritable asset in species conservation. Continuously educating the younger generation about it will provide a contextually appropriate form of conservation rationale and education while preserving the pro-conservation belief systems for posterity.